What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for today. I do want to make today's video a little bit shorter, so if I don't go over absolutely everything, I apologize about that. As you guys know, everything is transparent on this channel, right? So I'm going to show you guys the wins, going to show you guys the losses. And one of the reasons why I want to make today's video shorter is just because I feel like everything I say day in and day out really remains the same. Like I'm not, reinventing the wheel every day, right? You're going to see the correlation, and I talk about this every single day on this channel, right? We ended up running into a lot of opposite correlation yesterday, and that's part of the game, right? It's been a lot of fluctuation, I would say, over this past like two and a half weeks. As you're going to see, we're up like 220 units. We've hit all-time highs in the past week where we went up to like 135 units, and then we've gone back down, and then I think we've hit all-time highs like twice in the past 2 weeks, but we've kind of reached it, and we've kind of went back down a little bit, then we've reached it, then we went back down a little bit. And again, this is the fluctuations that's going to happen on a day-to-day, week-to-week type of stuff. And again, not to beat a dead horse, but I do talk about this stuff quite a lot, right? We're going to sometimes have times, like if you go back to the end of June and the beginning of July, where we go up 100 units, right? And that's what we did the end of June, beginning of July. And if you look at that, what were we betting on? We were betting on soccer, we were betting on League of Legends, we were betting on Valorant, and we were betting on Counter-Strike, right? And again, look at the screen right here. You're going to see a lot of League of Legends, you're going to see soccer, you're going to see Valorant in the past couple of days, and nothing's really changed, right? Sometimes we're going to have some really incredible streaks. Sometimes it's going to be, good days, bad days, good days, bad days, and then sometimes we're going to have a little bit of a loss streak, of course, right? So everything that I echo every single day, so I don't want to go over too much. But I do want to say that we do have a setup, right? We have a setup right here in League of Legends. We also have a setup right here for the Taco Tuesday pick right here. And then we have a lot of opposite correlations on these losses. As you guys know, every single day, I'm going to go over the wins, go over the losses. Sometimes it's going to be no wins, and there's going to be a lot of losses. Sometimes it's going to be a ton of wins, and there's going to be less losses, right? We've had everywhere in between over the 1,000 videos that I do post on this channel, and I've posted over the past 2 years. But I do want to say, like with this game right here, with this soccer game, you're going to see I took the unders, and I actually doubled down on the unders, right? So I took under on both of these players, and what ends up happening, they both go way over their line, right? This guy gets 93 passes, this guy gets 103 passes. So you guys, and by the way, I doubled down on it with the Taco because this play had already missed, so I retook it right here with the Taco because I did like the unders here. But again, I'm not going to be right every time, right? And you guys can already see that. What do you think ended up happening in this game, right? If we go to this game, I think I have it pulled up right here. Yep, it was Talarez versus Lannis, and Talarez ends up getting 60% possession in this game, right? You're going to see that they have 60% possession, but they lost 0-3, right? So they lost 3-0. So again, in soccer, it does not matter whatsoever if you win or lose in soccer. All that matters is possession. So these guys have 60% possession, so these guys go way over their line, and that is the reason why they go over, because they had possession. It's not because they won, it's not because they lost. That does not matter. All that matters is possession. Same thing here in soccer. This guy obviously does not play, but Charlotte ends up having more possession, causing this guy to go over, right? And even yesterday's pick right here, we took Tim Tawa, I think is how you say his name. And he goes way over, but the soccer play ends up DMPing. I have no idea why these guys DMP. I guess they just don't play. It is what it is, but it was a refund for yesterday's pick. And in League of Legends, I go over this quite a lot, but you're going to see between these two games, right? So you have this game, which is bro.c, okay? This is the team Bryon, and then they are facing HLE, okay? HLE Challengers is what that is. This team is HLE, this orange team. I took the unders, and I took the unders over here. You're going to see that HLE ends up winning this game, so they go over, and bro ends up losing the game, so they go under. Now, the game actually is 1-1, and I'll go into it here, but you're going to see in the first game, bro wins 11-13, which is very unusual because normally the winning team gets about 2 to 3x the amount of kills as the losing team. But again, this is sports, guys, right? Sports, esports, whatever ends up happening in sports can be different, right? Sometimes there's like a 5% chance that the losing team is going to have more kills, right? I'm sure we've all watched a football game or a basketball game where the definitive worst team, they're playing worse, everything, but they still end up winning somehow. And this is what ends up happening in this game. It's not very common for this to happen, but it does end up happening. And then the second game, this is kind of back to what you normally see in League of Legends, where the winning team is going to completely dominate 24-3. So really, this is the most important game of this 2-game series that we bet on, where this team gets 24 kills, kills, this team gets 3 kills, right? So you're going to see the guys that we bet under on, Cracker and Jackal. These guys both go way over because of this game. This guy gets 9 kills and this guy gets 6 kills. And the guys that we bet on here that we have a setup on, this guy like Didi Uke and this guy right here, Dindy, this guy goes under, he only gets 1 kill, and this guy gets 0 kills in this game. And even the third game, which we didn't bet on, we only bet on maps 1 through 2, but the third game, you're going to see a very similar story. It was 11-2. And you guys, I highly recommend that you go through this website. It's called sofascore.com, and just go to a random day, right? I'll just like blindly go to this day, July 8th, and you can look through some of these games, right? And you're going to see the winning team is going to get more kills very, very commonly, right? 18-8, 27-18. You know, we can click on some other random game if they have stats, 24-15, 30, 23-1, right? I'm just clicking on random games and showing you guys that the winning team is normally going to get way more kills than the losing team, right? I've never even heard of some of these teams, but you're going to see that the winning team is going to get many more kills, and I recommend that you go do this, right? Go to a random day, click around on SofaScore League of Legends, and you're going to see the winning team is normally going to get, you know, way more kills than the losing team. So League of Legends is different than soccer, but also similar. League of Legends is very dependent on who wins or loses. Just like in soccer, it does not matter at all who wins or loses. It just matters about possession. League of Legends is heavily dependent on who wins or loses. If you're going to win, you're likely to go over. If you're going to lose, you're likely to go under, okay? That's all I'm going to go over that. I go over this almost every day, guys. I will say this setup right here I really like because Rodrigo de Paul, who, if you guys remember, if we go to the World Cup, the Argentina guys, we would always take Rodrigo de Paul and Messi and players like that to go under, and they would hit for us a lot during the World Cup. So I took Rodrigo de Paul under as well. He was at 74.5 passes, and we took him under on the taco yesterday, and now he is at 60.5. Okay, they bumped his line down by almost 15 passes. This incredible bump here, incredible value. This happened overnight. So we have really good bumps in MLS right here with Inter Miami. And, you know, but again, if Inter Miami has 70% possession or 75% possession, then these guys are probably going to have a ton of passes. You're going to see them probably get, you know, 90, 100 passes, right? So as you guys know, I track everything. My VIP is tracked here. You can see my record, my win-loss. We lose a lot more than we win. So you're going to see a lot of L's. You're going to see like, you know, maybe 5, 6 L's in a row like this before you get that 1 W, right, on average. But that 1 W might be a 9X or might be an 8.5X or 10X or whatever it is, and this 1 W can pay off all of these losses, right? So this is why we're profitable. We don't need to win every entry. We're actually going to miss a lot of entries because these are 3 and 4 mans, okay? Before I get into the entry, if you want to get into my VIP, very rapid fire, the best way is going to be with NOVIG, with KALSHI right here. So text me up here. The instructions are up here. Text me KALSHI. You can get up to $500 free in free trades. Underdog is a great way to get in as well. BETR is another way to get in. And you can also, of course, use my football season pass, which is going to be all of my plays up until Super Bowl 61. It's only $150. 2024 and 2025, when I ran this, it was more expensive. It was actually double the amount of money. And on top of that, people still 30 to 40x their money on this because we went up about 250 to 300 units in this time frame. So if you go up 300 units and you're a $10 sports bettor, that would be $3,000 that you would go up on PrizePicks Underdog and such. So yeah, of course, if you go up $3,000 and my pass was, you know, 300, 400 bucks, then you're 10xing, 20xing your money. And again, this just scales up if you're a 15, 20, $25 bettor. The theory of the VIP, guys, is you can start as a $1 bettor, a $2 bettor. I would recommend you're at least a $2 to $3 bettor, and then you can build up slowly. You can build up to $5, you can build up to $7, you can build up to $10, and then one day maybe it's going to happen, you know, in October or November, December, or whatever. But one day you're going to be 15, 20, 25 unit bettor, and you're making thousands of dollars a month consistently on average on my VIP again. And this is you trusting the process, right? Understanding that we're going to have ups and downs, fluctuations, but we have only had 4 losing months ever on this channel, okay, on my VIP out of 33 months. So long term, we're going to win, guys. I have no doubt about it. Let's get into the first pick of the day. It's going to be on PrizePicks. This is actually going to be my only pick of the day. And we are, first of all, going to go to the MLB player prop right here over fantasy score for Carson Kelly, okay? We have really been doing well on these MLB plays. I think we're 4-4 on the past 4 videos for these MLB plays. One of them we hit a 5x with it. One of them we hit a 2.5x with it. And then we had a DMP yesterday, and I think we lost one as well in there, or maybe 2 in there. MLB, these hitter fantasy scores, guys, we've been very on the money about it, okay? So I really like these plays. When I send these plays out, they're very, very good plays. Carson Kelly at 3.5, I mean, you guys know what I look for. I look for hot streaks. I look for hot teams. Cubs have been very hot. And I look for players that's lines are obviously too low, right? So I can take them over. You're going to see against the Dodgers right here, I don't know why they don't have his lines for some of these other games, but against the Dodgers on the 5th, his line was 5. Now his line is 3.5. It makes no sense, right? You're facing the Nationals, which are a worse team than the Dodgers, and his line was 5 against the Dodgers, right? Same thing here. His line was 4 against the Dodgers, 4.5. His line was 5 against the Yankees, again, a better team than the Nationals. And again, his line is consistently, these past couple of games, been 4.5, 5. Now his line is 3.5. Another reason why I really like him at 3.5 here is because if you look at his hits, runs, RBI line, it is at 1.5. So it's the exact same thing that I said in yesterday's pick with Tim. His line is 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, and his line is 3.5 hitter fantasy score. It makes absolutely no sense because all he needs to hit 3.5 is one hit, run RBI, like 1, and he'll get 3, and maybe he gets walked once. Maybe he gets a double. A double is 5 hitter fantasy score. Maybe he steals a base, right? All of these things he can go over his hitter fantasy score and only have 1 hit run RBI. Now, if he has 2 hit run RBI, he is guaranteed to go over, and he's going to have about 5 to 6 fantasy score with that, okay? So really good play. You're going to see that they just played the Nationals yesterday, obviously, and he has 7, so that's really nice to see there. Really solid pick, okay? Second part of this is with soccer correlation. I will say tomorrow, let me know down in the comments. Do you want to see football? Do you want to see football correlation? I'm definitely going to have a football pick. With preseason, it's kind of hard to correlate picks, though. There's like 4 football games tomorrow, by the way. That's why I'm saying this. It's kind of hard to correlate during the preseason because players will only play maybe like a quarter and a half, maybe 2 quarters. So it's kind of hard to correlate. It's not like a full-length football game where you can really see like, okay, these guys are going to win, so they're going to have less passes. So all this stuff that we're going to do during football season, you guys will see when we get to it. But of course, I'll probably have a football play tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be correlated, though, because correlated, I'll get into this as we get into football season. So I don't want to talk about it too much today, but let's focus on today's pick. We do have 2 overs for these LAFC team players right here, okay? So the reason why I like this pick is because LAFC, okay, let's put them up here, LAFC, I'll just put them as LA. They have now played 2 games in this tournament, which, by the way, there's a tournament going on that's MLS versus the Mexican League, so League MX, okay? And you have LAFC that just played 2 of the top League MX teams. So they played, like, let's say the number 2 team in League MX, and I think they played the number 1 and the number 2 team in League MX possession wise, okay? This is a 1 right here. And these guys barely went under against this team. So against the number 1 team, this guy got, I think, like 64 passes, something like this. And this guy got, I think, like 21 passes against the number 1 team in League MX. Against the number 2 team, I believe this guy got 25 passes. And this guy, I think, maybe had like literally like 66, or maybe he even went over at like 70. So again, they were very close to going over or under, whatever it is. Like this guy literally, maybe went under by like 1 pass or whatever. Now they're facing this team, which is like right here. So they're like let's just call them the 13th worst team in League MX, or the 13th best team. So they're one of the worst teams in League MX. So if they just played the number 1 and number 2 team, and these guys barely went under their line, like this guy would have been like right here, and this guy would have been like right here. Now they're playing one of the worst teams in League MX. Not one of the worst, but they are, just a mediocre team in League MX. I now think that these guys are going to go not way over their line, but I think they're going to go over their line. I think this guy will probably get in the mid 70s, and I think this guy can get maybe like 28, 29, right? So again, it's going to be a close one. Is it my favorite soccer play ever? No. I will say, for some reason, they only have like 1 soccer player on some of these teams. So I don't know why they're doing that. I already have, like I said, a couple of setups for these, like the Inter Miami game and the PSG game happening later today. But of course, this is very correlated. If they have a lot of possession, they should go over together. And this is a pairing that we take in PrizePicks, and we are getting, I think, like a 5.25x or whatever for it. So very correlated. If LAFC has a lot of possession, they should go over together, and that is the main strategy we use on this channel. Correlation in esports, in soccer, and in football. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate support of watching these videos every day, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video for some more picks.